Hi, welcome to Listen with Nike. Today, we will continue our summary with Chapter 2, from the book, The Psychology of Money. So no further ado, let's get started. Chapter 2, Luck and Risk. Author says luck and risk are siblings, as every outcome in life is guided by forces other than individual effort. NYU professor Scott Galloway emphasizes that nothing is as good or bad as it seems. Bill Gates attended Lakeside School, one of the only high schools in the world with a computer, thanks to Bill Duggal, a World War II Navy pilot turned high school math and science teacher. Duggal believed that real-world experience was necessary for college and that computers would be essential for students. In 1968, Duggal petitioned the Lakeside School Mothers Club to lease a teletype Model 30 computer for computer time sharing, which Gates later said was forward-looking. Most university graduate schools did not have computers as advanced as Gates had in 8th grade, and he couldn't get enough of it. Bill Gates, a computer genius, met his classmate Paul Allen at Lakeside School in 1968. The school's computer was an independent study program, allowing them to explore their creativity and become computing experts. Gates showed Allen a Fortune magazine and suggested they might have their own computer company someday. Microsoft is now worth more than $1 trillion. In 1968, there were around 303 million high school-age people in the world, with around 18 million living in the United States, 270,000 in Washington state, and over 100,000 in the Seattle area. Only about 300 attended Lakeside School, making it 1 in a million high school-age students with the combination of cash and foresight to buy a computer. Gates is not shy about this, stating that without Lakeside, there would have been no Microsoft. He is smart, hardworking, and had a vision for computers that even most seasoned computer executives couldn't grasp. He also had a 1 in a million head start by attending Lakeside School. Bill Gates and Paul Allen, along with Kent Evans, became household names due to Microsoft's success. They were best friends in 8th grade, and they often talked on the phone. Kent was as skilled with computers as Gates and Allen, and they worked together to solve a school scheduling problem. Unlike Paul Allen, Kent shared Bill's business mind and ambition. They would scheming about their future careers, whether they would be CEOs, generals, or ambassadors. Gates reminisced about their friendship and the possibility of working together. He believed they would have gone to college together, but Kent died in a mountaineering accident before graduating high school. The odds of being killed on a mountain in high school are roughly 1 in a million. Vincent and Gates would have been a founding partner of Microsoft, but it would never happen. Kent's death in a mountaineering accident highlights the importance of risk and collaboration in the early days of technology. Bill Gates and Kent Evans both faced 1 in a million luck and 1 in a million risk in their lives. Both faced the same force and magnitude, working in opposite directions. Luck and risk are the reality that every outcome in life is guided by forces other than individual effort. They are so similar that they cannot be believed in without equally respecting the other. Both happen because the world is too complex to allow 100% of your actions to dictate 100% of your outcomes. Both are hard to measure and accept, and they often go overlooked. For every Bill Gates, there is a Kent Evans who was just as skilled and driven, but ended up on the other side of life roulette. If you give luck and risk their proper respect, you realize that when judging people's financial success, it's never as good or bad as it seems. Economist Robert Shiller, who won the Nobel Prize in Economics, often implicitly ignored luck as a factor of success. If asked if there are billion investors in the world, one would likely respond, of course. But if asked to name those investors, they would likely back down. Attributing success to luck can be demoralizing and make us look jealous. Economist Bhaskar Mazumdar's study shows that incomes among brothers are more correlated than height or weight, suggesting that wealth and education are closely linked to parents' socioeconomic status. However, this study does not apply to all rich brothers. Failure, from bankruptcy to not meeting personal goals, can be attributed to factors such as laziness or poor planning. It is difficult to determine how much of an outcome was a conscious decision versus a risk. For example, if a stock goes nowhere after 5 years, it could be a bad decision or a good decision with an 80% chance of making money. It is difficult to distinguish between these two outcomes, as they are often easy but often misleading. In the real world, it is difficult to measure whether some decisions were wise, as people prefer simple stories that are easy but often misleading. It is essential to recognize that success is not solely attributed to luck, but rather to the hard work and decision-making involved in achieving success. The author discusses the common misconception that failures are attributed to bad decisions, while successes are attributed to the dark side of risk. They argue that when judging one's own failures, they prefer a clean and simple story of cause and effect. But when judging themselves, they can create a wild narrative justifying past decisions and attributing bad outcomes to risk. The cover of Forbes magazine often celebrates rich investors who made good decisions but experienced the unfortunate side of risk, while poor investors who made bad or reckless decisions and got lucky. The author warns that we are all trying to learn about what works and doesn't with money, and often seek out lessons by observing successes and failures and avoiding what they did. They argue that if a magic wand could be used, it would be possible to determine the proportion of outcomes caused by repeatable actions versus random risk and luck. However, the author notes that our brains prefer easy answers without much appetite for nuance, making it difficult to identify the traits we should emulate or avoid. Cornelius Vanderbilt, a successful railroad entrepreneur, was criticized for his law-flaunting attitude, which was crucial to his success. He believed that laws didn't accommodate railroads during his time, so he went ahead anyway. This attitude may be seen as sage wisdom, as he was a visionary who let nothing get in his way. However, this analysis is dangerous, as no sane person would recommend flagrant crime as an entrepreneurial trait. John D. Rockefeller, another entrepreneur, is often portrayed as cunning business smarts for his frequent circumventing of the law. However, the narrative shifts from "you didn't let outdated laws get in the way of innovation" to "you committed a crime." The narrative would have to shift from "Rockefeller was a genius, try to learn from his successes" to "Rockefeller was a criminal, try to learn from his business failures." Vanderbilt once said, "What do I care about the law?" He believed that he had the power to make decisions based on his own principles and not on the law. The line between bold and reckless investing can be thin, and when not properly accounted for, it can be invisible. Benjamin Graham, a renowned investor and mentor of Warren Buffett, was known for owning an enormous chunk of Geico stock, which broke nearly every diversification rule he laid out in his famous texts. The distinction between bold and reckless is difficult to distinguish, as Graham wrote about his Geico bonanza, one lucky break, or one supremely shrewd decision. Can we tell them apart? Mark Zuckerberg, on the other hand, is often criticized for turning down Yahoo. In 2006, Mark offered $1 billion to buy Yahoo. Despite seeing the future and sticking to his guns, the lesson for entrepreneurs is that risk and luck are hard to pin down. And there are numerous examples of how fortunes and failures owe their outcomes to leverage. Managers drive their employees as hard as they can, and the line between inspiringly bold and foolishly reckless can be a millimeter thick and only visible with hindsight. Risk and luck are doppelgangers, and identifying what is luck skill, and risk is a significant challenge in learning about the best way to manage money. Be cautious when judging others and assuming that all outcomes can be attributed to effort and decisions. Different people are born into families that encourage education, flourishing economies, or war and destitution. Remember that not all success is due to hard work, and not all poverty is due to laziness. Focus less on specific individuals and case studies and more on broad patterns of success and failure. Studying extreme examples can be dangerous, as they may not be applicable to other situations due to their complexity. Instead, look for broad patterns of success and failure, which are more applicable to your life. Trying to emulate Warren Buffett's investment success is difficult, as his extreme results likely influenced luck or risk, making luck unreliable for achieving success. Instead, focus on broad patterns of success and failure, as the more common the pattern, the more applicable it might be to your life. The author discusses the common observation that people who have control over their time tend to be happier in life. He cites Frederick Lewis Allen's work as an example of how the average American life can provide valuable lessons. The author also discusses Bill Gates' statement that success is a lousy teacher, as it can seduce people into thinking they can't lose. He suggests that when things are going well, it's important to recognize that you are not invincible and that success can be a lesson in risk. Conversely, failure can be a lousy teacher, as it can lead to people thinking their decisions were terrible when they were just reflecting the unforgiving realities of risk. The author suggests that dealing with failure involves arranging financial life in a way that a bad investment or missed goal won't wipe out the individual, allowing them to continue playing until the odds fall in their favor. The author emphasizes the importance of forgiveness and understanding when judging failures. Thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned for Chapter 3. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe. Till then, take care and make every dollar count.